Hey, wrong track.
Hello, everybody. Yes, it's your Captain Redshirt. I'm Wayne. I'm the CEO of the USS Southern Cross. We're part of the greater Starfleet. We are here again talking about another episode, just like we would be if we were having a meeting with the good and wonderful crew. I'm just letting you know, this is not scripted at all. We make this up as we go along.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
If that wasn't already incredibly obvious.
and from multiple versions, we make this up as we go along. We just want to show what it's like being at one of our meetings, how a topic starts, and then it just ends up going down the toilet like it
Yep.
always does. So my colleague and my very opinionated colleague, I'm going to say,
Hey.
and the one who laughs a lot through it and potentially could
Hey.
fall asleep, but we won't go down there,
Hey.
um, is by all means introduce yourself.
Annabelle. Yes, it's me. I'm here again. Slightly tired, but ready to talk about Star Trek.
Oh, aren't we all? We're always
I
ready to talk.
know. Well,
Our
I'm always
families.
ready to talk about Star Trek.
I'm lucky. My wife Lynn, I've converted her to Star Trek, which is a lot easier when you want to talk about Star Trek. Um, Lynn just kind of looks at me and nods. But I do know I do feel sympathy for either partners or children or whatever, of
Or
people
my parents.
who don't get the concept that we want to break down in intricate detail of how a Jeffries tube was built, or
Yeah.
something like that. I feel sorry for them because they haven't been converted yet to
They
Star
just
Trek.
don't understand.
No,
That's our
it's
job. We have to convert them like you've converted Lynn.
damn it, that sounds bad. All right, see,
We're
seeing you,
proselytizing Star Trek.
yeah. Oh God, it's gone bad already. Um,
No,
you picked this episode, so you get to
I
introduce it.
did. I picked this episode because last week, or the week before last, we watched Metamorphosis. And this episode is the episode directly after Metamorphosis. So after I finished Metamorphosis, Netflix switched me onto this episode, and it was like a breath of fresh air after Metamorphosis. So, look, I introduced the episode last time because you picked it, and I picked this one. So you have to introduce
Oh, I got to
what Journey to
introduce.
Babel is about.
Oh, yeah, I've got to. I haven't done that part. You didn't. I
Yeah,
wasn't prepared for this part.
come on, you could do this. I did
No,
this
no,
last
I
time.
can't.
Now you have to do it.
You didn't tell me about this bit. All right, hang on. What? Let me just. Let me just. See, I've tried to get better prepared because I was picked on last time because I didn't have.
You didn't have the IMDb page up.
I didn't have
Jeez.
anything open, and I was just going by memory, and I was picked on a little bit. So this time I've tried to be a bit more prepared. Okay, so what we're watching, because we're just rambling at the moment, what we're watching is
Oh,
Journey to Babel. It is one of the TOS episodes. It's season 2, episode 15. It first aired in 17th of November 1967. Oh, exactly 2 months after my birthday. Okay.
oh wow.
Yeah, no. Whoa. Um,
Nice.
that's just way too much information, isn't it? Written by DC Fontana, directed by Joseph Pevney, I think it is. And if that's incorrect, I'm really, really sorry. So yeah, this is basically, in a nutshell, the Enterprise gets a mission to get a whole heap of delegates. There's about 100 delegates from about 100 different worlds within the Federation, and they've got to be taken to a planet called Babel to have a conference about whether or not they should admit a planet into the Federation. Now, the problem is that
Mm.
each delegate there has, or each planet that's has a delegate there has a kind of, how do I put this in the nice way?
They have an agenda.
Yeah, well, they've got a finger in the pie basically on this
Mm.
planet.
Because
They
this
all
planet has dilithium crystals on it, which is the thing that powers the warp engines. So it's
Powers everything
very,
in
very
Star Trek.
special. Yeah, powers everything in Star Trek. So it's a very important planet in terms of resources.
So they put them all. Now, you put you
I'm
you put
helping.
you put 100 delegates for 100 politicians on a ship. I mean, talk about this. It's automatically going to be a problem.
Ugh, I mean, this ship, this Enterprise only carries about 300 people in total. So they're crammed in there.
Yeah, I know, but that's all right. You've got closet space. That's not a problem. Now, I like if if you ever get a chance to watch this episode, it's actually I actually had forgotten this one because it's been a while since I've watched
You've
it.
forgotten this one?
No, mate, I'd forgotten the intricate details of it.
This
Don't
is one
pick
of
on
the
me.
best Star Trek episodes ever. Like full stop. Like out of every Star Trek, this is one of my favorite Star Trek episodes because it's so quintessentially Star Trek. It has everything I want from a Star Trek episode.
Oh, blimey, here we go. You just
I
wait,
know. This is
everybody.
why I picked this one because I love this one. It's so good. It doesn't like.
Just wait. We're
Oh,
probably going to go down the rabbit hole with this.
sorry. Sorry. No, you were talking. You were talking.
No, no, no. This is normal. Oh my God. Look,
I'm trying
basically,
not to talk over you.
oh, that's unusual. Everybody usually talks over me. I like the factor that it's very hard for us not to kind of go, oh, it's Sarek, but we know Sarek is Spock's father. But
Yeah,
imagine the very first time when you watch this, and all of a sudden Sarek wanders out, and then Kirk says to Spock, "Oh, by the way, we're leaving in a little while. You can go down and see your parents." Oh, Ambassador Sarek is my father, and
that's one of the
oh,
best moments of this episode. I love it. The first time I watched TOS, I didn't know that Sarek was his dad. And so I had that exact moment of going, oh,
I know you.
Brock doesn't tell these people anything. And it's
I
just,
like
ah,
I like the factor that only a season ago he was a Romulan, so he technically was still a
I know
relevant.
the same actor played the Romulan commander. That's a
I
wonderful
know.
episode that he
I
plays the
like.
Romulan commander in. That's such a
Oh,
good episode.
yeah. Just get real. I mean, there's no way you can say that this is. Look, I like, and I'm going to get this. I always get his name wrong for some reason, but Mark Leonard, I actually like him as a as an actor and as the character
Mm,
of Sarek, and I didn't know this while I was looking through bits and pieces.
mm.
Um, this was the first episode or first time you see him play Sarek,
Oh.
right? And the more interesting bit is you do not see him again for about another 17 years when he
And then he
appears.
appears up in Next Gen.
No, when he appears in the movies.
Oh, of course.
You
Yeah.
don't see him again for I'm trying to
What is
remember.
that? It says it's Search for Spock where he shows up.
I think so, yes.
And
It's
he goes to Bones and he's like, "My son is in your brain."
Yeah, I'm pretty certain I've got a piece here somewhere. First appearance of Spock. Um oh, they don't say it. But I remember reading it somewhere while I was looking over everything, and it's about a 17-year gap between when he appears and when from the very first one to the
Mm,
next one. And I'm thinking
yeah.
this is just hang on, I've got the facts somewhere here.
You
See,
got
I'm
the
doing it
facts.
now. I'm doing it. Yeah,
This is what I
I'm on
normally
the
do.
internet. I'm trying to use the
We've
internet for the
swapped.
way it's meant to be and not for the
How do you
way it's.
normally use the internet?
Oh, I'm not going down that road.
No, okay, sorry, sorry.
No, I use the internet very mainly truthfully. I use it for research and that for mainly Star Trek. I don't really do it for
Isn't
anything
that what you're
else.
doing now, though?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it, but I'm not doing. Oh, here it is. No, you're right. It
Hey,
is.
hey.
It's 17 years between, and it is the search for Spock. You don't
Search for
see
Spock.
you don't see Sarek appear again for that
Wow.
period, and then you see
Yeah.
him in multiple. in pretty much every of the movies after that.
Yeah. And he's in
And
Next Gen in the
he's yeah, in
quintessential
the
Sarek episode
in
called
well, he
Sarek.
does. What's he do? He does he does two episodes, three technically. Kind of, he's in.
Hmm.
I forget that name, and then he's in Unification, which I think is one of the
Oh
greatest
yeah. I hate
episodes.
unification.
Oh, for God's sake! Here we go.
No, we're not
So,
talking about unification
oh
part
no,
one
I
and
know
two
we're
right
not
now.
talking about Unification, but we're going to end up watching that just to annoy you, I think.
Just to piss me off.
Yeah,
No, no.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Ah, do a
so
two-parter.
so basically, the premise here is that they've got all these delegates. They've got to get them to there, and just to
They're trying to get
just
them to the peace talks. It's very like heated on the ship.
yeah, and
Mm.
just to throw more salt into the wound, we have an alien ship that appears and is following them, and we have
Yep.
a murder. Oh,
We have a murder.
and
And the
we have to
murder
do we have to do critical surgery on Sarek
on
as well.
Sarek. Sarek is dying. There's a murder. The guy who was murdered is murdered in a way that apparently only Vulcans know how to do.
Yes.
And a random ship is coming at them at warp 10. And all
Yeah.
this is happening at the same time.
Now, hang on. I want to go back there a bit.
The
I
warp 10
want to,
thing makes me laugh
I
so
know.
much.
I want to go to the elephant or the targ in the room here
The Targ in
because
the room. Oh, was that a
yeah,
Star Trek?
yeah. I'm trying to do as many Star Trek metaphors here as I can. I want to go to
Okay,
the
okay.
targ in the room. Is how do we get to warp 10?
I have no idea how these people are. I mean, they explain it later and they're like, oh, well, they didn't have to, think about their reserves. And so they could go full power the entire time because it was a suicide mission. And I'm like, what do you mean? They said they were going warp 10. That's practically impossible with normal
Yeah,
warp
you,
drives.
you if you go with later versions of Star Trek, warp 10 basically puts you in every place in the universe at once.
And also sends you back in time.
And said, "Oh, it does all it does."
It's
So,
so. This is just
I,
another case of TOS does not care about accuracy.
I,
TOS just went, oh, they're
well,
going really fast. So it's warp 10 because they were going really fast.
I think you've got to remember that all the information and those people who actually sat down and calculated all of this stuff that didn't come until the next generation
No, I
between.
know, but I just think it's funny.
So they thought warp 10 back then must have been the next progression.
Hmm.
That's all it was. And then, of course, then they came in with, oh, there's a limitation as well with warp speed, as there is with light speed. You can't
Yeah.
go to 100% of light speed, so you can't go to 100% of warp speed. So, but it's just funny how things change. But they just drop it like, well, we did it,
It's
and then
uh, the- it's
20
also
years
funny
later,
because
they
truck
just
fans
change it.
love to like look at all the diagrams and everything. We love to analyze stuff, but when you're watching TOS, you just have to like turn your brain off a little bit because you can't do
Uh,
that.
yeah,
They're
this is
going warp
true.
10. You just have to accept that they're going warp 10.
I'm gonna. This isn't another tag in the room, but I do like the. I think we see a lot more banter between Spock and McCoy here. I think you see the beginnings of that tussle that they do right through where.
I love this episode because this episode is the Spock episode. It has
Yeah,
all the Spock things. It has banter with Kirk. It has banter with McCoy. It has that
yes,
thing where he's like, I don't have emotions, but he's clearly showing emotion
yeah. He
that
wants
all
to
the
turn
Vulcans
around
have.
and
And you've got that like, Leonard Nimoy does such a good job of the dry delivery that he's doing the entire episode, and I love it so much. This is just such a Spock
I
episode.
love it when they're at the reception and McCoy finds out about the fluffy teddy bear.
Oh yeah, I know. That's my favorite. Such a good
Um,
bit. And then Spock turns to him and is like, on my world, McCoy, the teddy bears are 6 feet tall and they have massive fangs and they will
yeah,
kill you.
it looks more like a bastard, dirty, great big grizzly bear than a fluffy. I mean, it's got
Oh, I know.
fluffiness, but
The
it's.
fluffiness.
I just love the way McCoy smiles. I kind of
I
get the
know, because they're
impression.
friends. Like they're messing with each other. And it's
Oh yeah, I
so
get that,
fun. I love that.
but I kind of get the impression that there was something else going on in the scene, because that smile looked actually real. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a staged smile. I'm kind of
Maybe
thinking that,
DeForest Kelly is just a good actor.
oh, he's a great actor, but I think there was something else going on. Somebody must have cracked a joke,
And they
and they
kept the
just put, because
smile in.
it just seemed too real. Like it just seemed a too real response. Like somebody said something really funny. Because I'm hoping that, because that would just make it even better. But
I
um,
just love that this episode has the universal experience of your mum embarrassing you in front of your friends that Spock gets to experience.
yeah, that it hasn't changed after
I
300
love
years.
Amanda. I think that's so great. I'm like, yeah, Amanda's just here to embarrass her son. I think that's funny.
Yeah,
Like
that hasn't
quintessential
changed.
human experience.
Has not changed one lousy bit. The
I
mother is
know.
still, but I like the fact that in a funny way, Sarek, in a Vulcan way, stood up for his son, which was really
No,
odd.
he did. Literally, the next scene, he's like, "You shouldn't make fun of Spock. He needs to be a person and he needs to function on this
Yeah,
ship and be
no.
respected." And you were like, "Sarek, you were just making like you weren't even talking to him. They literally don't talk to each other in the beginning of this episode, but he's still like, because he respects and loves his son, really, and you see that when he does a little smile with his wife, and it's so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that the factor that I think the odd thing for me is um that they couldn't seem to get a constant with Sarek and Spock. One minute that they're just ignoring each other, and the next minute they were kind of doing that, and they couldn't seem to get a constant with those two characters. I mean,
What do you mean?
one minute they're being Vulcan, the next minute they're being human, and the next
But
minute
that's
they're
the whole
being Vulcan
point.
hand. Yeah,
That's
but
the point.
I
Because,
just.
okay, let me, can I rant for
Oh,
a
here we
second? I'm going to
go.
rant for a
Here we
second.
go. This
Okay.
is going to.
Ev Pretty much every subsequent Star Trek that is a TOS does not understand Vulcans at all, and it really pisses me off. It really kills me. But this episode does, and it's this sort of fakeness that is innate to Vulcan philosophy because they're doing the if I just keep telling myself that it's true, eventually it'll be true. And so even though they practice this kind of Vulcan philosophy of logic and care, in their heart of hearts, no Vulcan is like that actually. They're more emotional than humans are. They tell us that. We know that they're more emotional than humans are. We see that in the episode with Sarek later on when he gets a disease that stops him from being able to practice his philosophy. It's why they meditate all the time. And so I feel like those moments where they feel more human are the moments really where like their emotions come out because they lose a bit of the Vulcan um, philosophy in that moment because they're not trying as hard or they're feeling something really intensely. Like when Sarek, puts his fingers out for his wife and smiles at her, or when he stands up for Spock. Those are the moments that are like coming through the Vulcan philosophy because the Vulcan philosophy is a choice on top of their innate emotionality that they do so they don't hurt anyone and so they can go through the world easier. And every subsequent Star Trek treats it as if that's just something innate to Vulcanness, like their logicness is some biological aspect when it's not. Like they tell
Oh
us it's
no,
not.
it's not. If you I think it's in Voyager with Tuvok, you actually see him
Ah, yeah, I
in
love
art,
Tuvok so much. Yeah.
and you see that when they're young, I think, what is it, until they're 8 or
Yeah.
10 or something,
He
they're
struggles as a kid and you get to
they're
see
not
him
they're not
struggle.
introduced into logic. They're actually sent
Mm,
away to get um to become logic. So you're right with the factor that it's not like it's born into them, that it has to be taught into them. It's like any
yeah,
discipline. And I think Voyager was one of the first ones that kind of showed.
I know. And then Strange New World said, actually it's biological. And I was like, what? What?
Yeah, we all know it's not, because we all know like in the episodes of Enterprise where we get to see
Oh
uh
yeah, what's her
um
name? Oh, I've forgotten her
oh
name.
yeah, um
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
T'Pol's mother and all that,
Mm.
and on the Cyranites and all of those, we get to see that they make humans look like fluffy puppies. kind of
Yep.
thing, compared
Yeah.
to their version of anger.
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
was
Which is why they're
because,
so logical, because it has
yeah,
to be
because
that way so they don't hurt
they
anybody.
suppress it. They
Hmm.
they admit, well, no, it's not even suppression.
It's control.
It's a
It's
controlled understanding of their aggression,
yeah.
and it's an acceptance, but they always make it sound like they're suppressing it. That's how it always comes across. If you read any of the books, or if you read it watch any of the shows, when they do talk about it, it's always saying we suppress our
Yeah,
anger.
but I think that's because Vulcans show a lot of shame when it comes to
Oh,
emotions. Like they're not allowed to feel it, which you see Spock have, which is why he's such an interesting character because he's clearly ashamed of his human aspects. Like
yes,
he's been taught that those are wrong by Vulcan standards, and he has to
yeah,
like connect these two halves of himself.
yeah, completely. I mean, you always. I'm always curious why, and I can't remember. I did read about this why Roddenberry made Spock half human, half Vulcan. Um,
Hmm.
I just think it was an interesting choice,
Yeah,
and like episodes with Journey to Babel, you get to play with that. You
yeah,
get to see that in some instances his logical decisions are flawed because it isn't the best for everybody.
yeah.
You know, he
Well,
could
that I
have,
think it shows a really important aspect as well that makes Star Trek important, which is that like Kirk's emotionality is a really it can be a really good thing. It doesn't show that logic is the be all and end all, or that this kind of separate, unemotional thinking is the best, which you could say in these circumstances. It says, no, actually, in this circumstance, the better thing for Spock to have done would be to help his father. And Kirk, as the emotional one in this centerpiece, has to initiate that because that's like part of his character. And then Bones is holding them all together. It's such a quintessential, like, this episode really hammers home the triumvirate connection of all
yeah,
three of them with the heart and the brain
all
and the
three points have to be in place for all of it to stay together. If one
exactly.
falls out, then it all collapses. I also
Yeah.
think that with Spock's decision not to help, and he's saying, but it's a logical decision. It's not actually the most logical decision
Logic
because,
is
well,
yeah.
there is a chain of command. And Spock's decision on that can be considered to be clouded. Even with a logical decision, he has to admit that with his father's position as it is, like dire, I mean, you couldn't get much more dire than what it is.
No, I know.
That's got to be playing, that's got to impact on his decisions. Now,
But the thing
there is
is,
a,
logic, sorry, go.
oh, go on.
Logic can be manipulated in any way to justify anything. I think this is why I struggle so much because it never makes sense, his logic. It can be whatever it is. What it
Well,
really
logic
is in this episode is he's trying to follow the rules. He thinks that following the rules is logical, even
yeah,
though you
no.
could in a different circumstance say helping my father is more logical. But like
Well, logic can be manipulated just as emotions can be.
exactly.
If you're what I've always considered this with the amount of time, with the number. I always get picked on for saying amount. It's number of times. I'm not
Could say
kidding.
amount.
I get picked on that all the time. Um, it's having a relation in the family who used to be a teacher. That's the problem.
Oh no.
Uh, oh yeah, okay, good point. So you win over that one.
What?
No, I'm just
What?
I always found that the logic of the situation, you could, how do I put this into a term that's going to make sense? Um, you've got the two ends of the spectrum here. You've got the absolute logic and the absolute emotion. So you've got Kirk as the emotional anchor point at one end, and you've got Spock as the logical anchor at the other end.
Mm,
But they both can be extremes at the same time. You can
yeah.
say logically, you know, if we allow this ship to be destroyed because of my decision, it is the logical conclusion because I can't leave my post. Okay.
Mm.
Or if my logical conclusion is I can't leave my post, Sarek dies and the Vulcans pull out of the Federation. My
Yeah.
decision was a logical one, but that's an extreme logic. The same
Mm.
with if you're at the other end with Kirk, it's emotional. You got to save your father. But
Yeah.
again, is it the best decision? So problem is, I
But
think
that's why this episode is so
I
good,
know
though.
I do see the point now after the second watching, but I
Mm.
think also that Roddenberry or maybe a lot of the writers were trying to play this um, that that McCoy is the middle ground.
Yeah, well, he is.
He plays that character or that personality that is both logical when needed and and emotional, and he uses the two of them and sort of pulls them together. But
Yeah.
for Vulcans, as you keep saying, for Vulcans to just say absolute, oh my God, it is only the logical conclusion. It doesn't make logic is a flawed
No.
system as well.
Yeah.
I mean, because sometimes there are other um, there are other points that have to be taken into consideration. And
Exactly.
if you're just looking at the logical conclusion, um,
And especially on this
yeah,
particular ship,
especially on
because
this one,
emotions are so high in this
yes,
entire thing, and he doesn't take that into consideration at all. He
no.
thinks that everybody's just going to be as logical as he is, but they
You've
aren't.
also got a murderer running around the ship.
I know.
I mean, that doesn't even get a it gets a oh we've had a kill, somebody been killed, yes. Do we know who? No, they're just roaming the ship. We have
They're just
no
roaming this
idea.
tiny ship that
I
lots of people are
mean,
stuffed into, and Kirk
you
almost like gets killed. He gets beat up by the Andorian, not Andorian.
yeah, that came out of nowhere. One minute we're
I
watching
know.
her in surgery, and the next minute Kirk's getting the crap beaten out of him,
They didn't
and
even
he's
like do a
oh,
little prelude. I thought I missed something and I went back and I was like,
I
no,
did.
this literally is we just go from surgery with Spock
Yeah,
to suddenly he's being beat up in the middle of the hallway.
but I think this is one of the best times that you see Kirk and his Kirk fu. Um,
Yeah, I know.
I love the move. This is how highly trained Starfleet personnel they come up with the maneuver. Let's bounce off the wall.
That's such a Kirk thing. He's like, I'm
But
doing parkour. I'm going off the wall. I'm going to turn around.
yeah, I was thinking about this while I was watching it. Yes, the maneuver is you bounce on the wall, you basically knock yourself out, and you just fall to the ground. I mean, he
It's
bounced
as
off the
iconic
wall,
as the
and
Star Trek palm punch. Like the Star Trek palm punch and the falling off the walls go hand in hand.
but yeah, actually, you watch the episode, and when Kirk must have slipped because he actually he hits the Andorian with his bum, but the Andorian actually had to move into the bum butt because he
Oh,
wasn't
well,
where because Kirk slipped or I don't know missed the blast and
something.
missed the start off point or whatever. The
Mm,
Andorian wasn't in the right spot. So the Andorians had
yeah.
to move a little bit to get the bum crack, the bum bump. And I'm thinking, right, this is, I mean, what the most ridiculous move you could ever do.
I
I,
love it. It's great. Every time I get to watch Kirk do some weird move, it's
I
a good
know,
day.
that's why you have this whole thing about Kirk Fu.
Yeah, I
It,
know.
it,
It's great.
I
It's hilarious.
it's just I could just see Kirk retiring and being back on Earth somewhere in a
The
martial
martial
arts
arts
thing
teacher.
training
Yeah.
Kirk Fu, and it's just
And then you fall yourself into the wall, and then you punch one of the walls, then you fall over again, and then you roll on the floor a little bit, and all the students are looking at him like, are we sure this guy's an admiral?
but did you also notice that when Kirk turned around where he'd been stabbed, I couldn't see any blood.
No, it's Star Trek.
I could not see any blood anywhere. Like
It's just like
you,
the hallway's perfectly clean.
yeah, no, but I mean on his tunic, I couldn't see
Yeah,
any
I know.
blood. I couldn't see a hole. I mean, you've got a 3-inch blade that's just been put into him, and I can't see anything.
Yeah, welcome to Star Trek.
I
Wait,
know.
you should
I
know this.
I know. I
My
know. I
favorite
mean,
part is I think they always try to get in. I'm gonna crack up. No, they always try to get in as many William Shatner shirtless shots.
oh,
And this
yeah,
episode is hilarious because sometimes we just cut. It's just, why is he randomly shirtless? He's just randomly shirtless.
yeah, I know. I
And I
know.
laugh
That's
every time. Like something really intense could be happening, and we'll cut to like Kirk in his quarters, and I just crack up.
that's where the meme came from. You got your shirt off, I saw. It's
Yeah,
it just became a running kind of joke. But
I
at the
know.
time it wasn't. It was serious, but I think it became a bit of a running joke afterwards that,
Yeah.
Kirk literally got his shirt off
I think
for
it's because
no
to modern
apparent.
standards, William Shatner like isn't he doesn't have like a perfect man bod, I would say, compared to like a lot of modern actors. And so it's sort of weird to our brains nowadays to be like, oh yeah, they were trying to get his shirt off at every instance because they thought that was like hot or something.
Well, I suppose back in the 60s that was that was whoa.
I know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know about that.
He just
But
looks like a normal man. It's really funny to
well,
me every
to
time I see this turn up. I'm
us,
like, that's just a normal man.
to us, but not back then. I'd say it was, you know, um, it's just acceptable. But there was one part, and I thought that was odd for me, but I wasn't going to say anything until I actually came across it in sort of trivia fun facts I found. You
Hmm.
see the point where Amanda slaps Spock in his room, and
Yeah,
that's a good slap. I have to give that. There's a
she really
there's a
goes for it.
oh no,
He kind
she's
of deserved it. I gotta be honest with you.
I actually
In
I
the
don't
no one should
know
ever
if
be hit sort of way, but like that was some he was pulling some shit. He was like, I'm gonna let my dad die. It's just like, why?
again, I'm not certain. It almost looks with the startled, unless she's a really good actress, and I know she is, but
Yeah, it looks like
with the
she really slapped
she
Leonard
really collected him.
McCoy.
I mean,
Yeah.
but the funny thing is, as she walked out the door
Hmm.
went and then and she walked out, and as Spock, nothing happened. They actually state that the door failed to work, and Spock had to
Oh,
kind of ad lib the scene a little bit. That's why you see him put
oh,
his hand up on the door because the door
oh!
didn't work.
I didn't even notice.
No, he was supposed to leave the quarters
Oh
and
wow.
sort of stand in the doorway. But when he got there, you see him stop a little bit. The door
Yeah,
didn't open, and then he went further. The door didn't open. He's put his hand like this. Oh, my mother
on the
went.
door.
But it
Yeah.
was actually because he that damn door didn't work. But
That's because there were
yeah,
people on the door pulleys, and they were
yeah.
like across the room, like 10 meters across the room, and they had to communicate with them. Have you seen the bloopers of TOS where they're
I've seen
constantly
a
banging into
couple.
the doors?
I've seen a couple, and there's also there's a door. There's not many of these ones, but there's a door blooper where there's two guys on the other side which you can't see, and they're
Hmm.
literally just sliding the door back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And as they've done it, it's jumped off the trolley, off the
Oh,
roller thing, so it's jammed.
oh no.
It's literally jammed, and you see them because they've shot this a couple of times. As they have to, you see the actual push the door open, and it's funny as buggery to
Oh
watch,
no. That's
considering
why
what
TOS is fun.
what they actually do today. But back then, it was all manual labor. It was all.
I
It's just.
know.
I just
Nowadays we have actual automatic doors that just sense you and open. But in
occasionally
TOS they
they'll
had to
open.
open those they had to open those manual.
Not always they will play the game and will open, but it is a lot. I mean, you really have to feel sorry for the guys that had to do it. They were in awkward positions, and if the door didn't open, it
I
was their
know.
fault. They were
Sorry,
going to
sorry,
get it.
actor. You just banged your head on this bit of plywood.
I remember reading something. I forget what episode, or kind of going off, but that one of the doors actually I don't know what happened, but the actor went through and the door went the other way and actually jammed the
Oh,
person's hand.
oh
And
no.
they weren't heavy doors, but the person wasn't prepared for it and nearly
Yeah.
pulled half the set down, Johnny. I just thought it was hilarious. I've
Oh
got to
no.
find that piece again because that is so funny.
That's funny.
It's only a small piece. Problem
Mm.
is that because they were filming like on real, you don't get a lot of bloopers, and they didn't keep a lot of the bloopers like they do today. And
Yeah, I know.
but
Because it was real film, actual
I
physical
know, and
film, not
film
this
was
digital
expensive.
doohickey.
Film was
Yeah.
expensive, and they used to even they just yeah, it just was so expensive. You just couldn't afford to do any over and over takes.
Yeah.
Um, but I just think if those more of those bloopers had sat around, it would have been. I think it would have been hilarious.
Really funny. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
there were some good ones.
The other thing that I found really interesting, now they've caught the Andorian after he's tried to kill
The
Kirk.
Andorian, not Andorian. The
Not
Orion.
Andorian. Yes, he's Orion. All right. Well, that kind of a giveaway when the antenna breaks off and it's plastic.
I
But
know. Quite
I
funny
know
when his antenna breaks up.
they're all plastic antennas, but when
Yeah, I know. That's why it feels weird. It's like, oh, the costume's broken. Oh no, that's just actually part of this. Like,
I kind of thought, I honestly thought for a second, oh, that poor red shirt's broken the costume, and they've just said, well, hang on, quickly, rewrite that. That's where the thing was. We have to, because we can't put it back together.
I know.
But Kirk brings a potential murderer and saboteur to the bridge.
I guys bring
What
bring him
the?
to the bridge. What are you doing, Kirk?
And he's just the two guys, the two big burly red shirts.
Security guys. Yeah.
Just let him go, and he's wandering around the bridge.
I know. He's like, I'm going to do this interrogation with all this really important equipment that runs this vessel. What? What are
What
you
the?
doing?
I mean, I'm
It's because it's
sorry.
dramatic. It's because it's
If I've got
dramatic.
if I've been brought up to the bridge and I've been let loose, I'm gonna run rampant. I'm
I know,
gonna
right?
create havoc
Grab
in
the
that
ship,
bridge.
pull it over. Like he's already on a suicide mission. He's taken the poison where he's gonna
I
die.
know.
Like
I
do
mean,
as much damage as you could possibly do. They
just
put you
flick
on the
whatever
bridge.
switches you can. I don't care. Just flick
Yeah, I
them
know.
all. I
I
mean, at
know.
some point, you've got to get the right sequence of switches, and you're going to blow the ship up. Let's do that. Whoa!
Yeah,
No, he
we're.
stands there. I
I
mean,
know. So
he's
placid.
he's an assassin, and he's decided I'm going to play by a set of rules.
Yep.
What?
What?
Excuse me? You're, but the two guys are just standing there going, oh yeah,
The
well,
security guys just don't even care.
I know, typical bastard red shirts. And look, I am the president of the Red Shirt Protection Association,
Yep.
um, and the red shirts. Please don't send them on dangerous missions associations as well. But these guys are just standing there. Go, well, what did you do on the weekend? Oh, yeah, I just went out for a drink with you. Oh, yeah, you mean the
And there's a
guy's just
murderer
walking
running loose
around
on
the.
the bridge.
What the? I mean, their captain is incapacitated. There's
He's literally
nobody.
like holding his side. He's bleeding out.
There's nobody within 6 or 8 feet of the Andorian, and
Yep.
he's literally leaning on the captain's chair, which
I
has the
know.
self-destruct button.
I
What the? I
know.
do
Yep.
not understand
Great.
that scene.
I think it's hilarious. Well, see, but it's very dramatic. It's very, to have him on the bridge is very, he could react to it. Like, Captain,
Don't.
I've also running a suicide mission. I thought that dialogue was so funny. I was like, you could just, why are you telling him this? You could just die. Now you've given him an opportunity to maybe save your life. Like,
I know. And he said,
what?
I'm not telling you anything, but I'm on a
Proceeds
suicide.
to tell them everything.
But you've told us you're not going to tell us anything, and now you're telling us everything. And
Yep.
I love his last scene. I may have miscalculated.
Yeah, I know, and he falls and dies on the ship bridge. And you're like, what?
Did you notice the two red shirts? They couldn't lift him up. He's actually helping them get him up. He's a dead body now, But now these guys can't lift him because he's down. I think he's down a stair, so they can't
Yeah.
get the leverage they need. So he's now having to help them get him. I'm
This is why
thinking,
TOS is so fun. It's like watching a play, you know?
look, I love TOS. I grew up on TOS. Don't get me wrong, but now that I'm somewhat slightly older, and
Mm,
I watch them now in high definition digital, as you do.
yes.
You see things and you go, "Oh my God, what the hell?"
That's my favorite bit about Star Trek. It makes me crack up every time.
And stops you from
Just
talking by the sound of it too.
exactly. I'm losing my words. No, but I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of watching TOS is going, oop, that
That
wasn't
was a
supposed to
that
happen.
was a big oop.
Oh,
That was a massive oop. I
oh,
mean,
I forgot about the bit where Kirk's fighting the Andorian and the like wall shakes behind him, like the set
yeah,
shakes.
I could just see the set designers going, "Oh, for God's sake, he's going to
Oh,
break another
don't do it.
wall.
Don't touch the wall. Yep.
We've just painted that one."
I know.
Yeah,
How many
I
walls do you think William Shatner broke?
I would yeah, I would be scared to consider how many times after each of the shoots of the day's shooting that the set designers had to get in there and fix up and get it. I mean, they probably did it on a regular
The set
basis.
designer's got to go up to Will Shatner and be like, could you maybe not jump off the walls that we spent 6 hours painting? It's
There are fights. There was a fight. I'm still trying to find it, but I read somewhere in the fight with Khan that
oh,
Khan falls against, or Kirk falls, I can't remember. One of them falls against something, and you actually see this thing that's meant to be metal that just breaks off. And it kind of gets caught, and they have to, I think one of them had to come over and get him, make it look like it was being, that they grabbed him or something. I
yeah.
haven't been able to see it. I've slowed it down, but I've never been able to find it.
Oh,
That
I'll
that
have to watch
that
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 episode
actually
again.
that actually happened. But I remember reading it on one of the Star Trek forums that somebody, had a lot of time on their hands and they slowed it down frame by frame, and they said you can actually see it. I'm thinking, yeah, okay. It's like the same one in the Next Generation, the very last episode Tasha Yar was in, Denise
Mm,
Crosby, when
yeah.
the shuttle bay doors closed, she's waving in the background. I mean, they left that in. I mean, they do that occasionally. I think they've done it more on purpose in the later ones. They did it by accident in TOS, but
Again, film
yeah,
reels,
I know. And
money.
film was a lot more expensive back then.
And Star Trek was already being made on a shoestring budget, you know?
Oh, if they had a shoestring, they would have had a budget. Put it that way. Look, I have to admit, I kind of like this episode. I
You
am
better.
glad. No, I'm being honest here. I like the fact I do like it, and I'm kind of glad you picked it. It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in there that just simply doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, you've why you had to go to Babel to have this conference. You've got all
A
the
neutral
100
planet.
people. Well,
That's why. That's why I thought it was. It's a neutral planet. Also, it like represents the hubris of the people on the ship because it's like Tower of Babel metaphor.
what gets me, and this is always um, when I've seen stuff like this where they've had to go, they go and bring diplomats and stuff a lot to particular planets or to particular meetings. I get that.
Hmm.
But what always amazes me is why they don't use long range communications, why they have to be face to face with these individuals.
I think it's like I mean, we don't do UN talks over Zoom. Like, there's something particular about having the people in the room to talk with that facilitates a better agreement, I think.
Yeah, I suppose I would have thought like in the 23rd century that they would have got past that point.
Maybe, but I think it like shows a certain amount of goodwill to be willing to go to a planet and
Well,
discuss it.
true, but you've got wouldn't you also think if that's the case, that the individual delegates would find their own way to the planet and not have to
Yeah, but I
be
think it's about
directed?
safety because then those people could be killed on the way by
But they're
people
in
who want to
Federation
stop the tradition.
space.
That doesn't matter. They're all Federation citizens, and Andorian still tried to hurt them. You know,
Well,
someone
again,
on the
if that was
opposite
the
side of the.
case, they could have all they could have killed the destroyed the Enterprise as well
Well, they were
if we want
trying
to
to.
get
It's just
down
if
that road.
they're on the flagship of Starfleet, which shows that Starfleet has a good stake in it. They're going to a physical location which is neutral, and they're all being protected by one of the best ships of the fleet. I think that's just sort of the explanation. I don't know if they have it
Yeah,
any more than that.
I find it really I just find it a bit archaic
Well,
that
it's supposed to be. You know, Star Trek is based on fucking Hornblower. This episode felt so Hornblower. It was like, oh, we're on a medieval ship and it's
yeah.
small and everyone's packed in
Hey,
and they're going to a location for a
we're not
neutral
medieval. What
discussion.
are you talking
It was
about
great. Not
medieval?
medieval, Napoleonic. It was great. I loved it. So much
Oh,
fun when Star
you
Trek
just
does that.
washed over that factor. You put the Napoleonic period into the medieval. And
I'm tired. This is
I
what
know
happens
you're a
when I'm
history buff.
tired. I am a history buff.
I know
I'm
you're a history
tired,
buff.
Wade. Give me a break.
Why? You don't give me a break. Why should I give you a break?
I give you plenty of breaks. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
yeah, okay. Look, I think
We didn't
I
even talk about Uhura. Oh, sorry.
no, did you I wanted to talk about did you see the scene where Kirk literally tears shreds off her?
Yeah, I know.
I
He
just
gets so pissed at her. I was like,
that one caught
Kirk,
me off
Jesus.
guard. Because that's the first time I'd ever seen him. I mean,
I kind of liked it though, because I was like, that's how he would talk to a male, lieutenant. Yes.
yeah, but
He's not giving
then,
her any special treatment. He's just treating her
no,
like he would
but
treat anyone else.
it again, it heightened this situation where
Oh, yeah.
the
Felt very intense.
well, no, but he hasn't said any of that to any of the other crew members, and a few of them during that episode made a couple of bugger ups. But
Yeah,
here's
but
Uhura, who is a highly trained communications officer, and right smack dab on the bridge, he takes a he takes shreds off her. I think,
I mean, it's not that aggressive. He just goes, blah, blah, do what I told him to do. And she's like, yes, sir. And does what she told him
yeah,
to do.
just
I think it's just we're used to him talking, softer to Uhura or kinder to Uhura.
maybe. I
And
just
he's in
don't.
the middle of a very intense situation, and she's an integral part of running the ship as normal. And she's like relaying communication throughout the entire ship, and he's just talking tersely with her. I
I
didn't
just
come off
don't.
as like unnecessarily aggressive to
Yeah,
me.
but I also don't find any reason to have it in there. There was no real. That didn't help
I
with the
think
story.
I think to me, it felt like they were including Uhura more in the plot of the story by doing that because she's in other parts of it. And by making
Yeah,
sure she's acknowledged in this incredibly terse situation because she's the communications officer, because she's running liaison between the members of the ship in this intense moment, and you've got Kirk who's really stressed right now about it. Like, I think she just happened to be the person that
yeah.
he.
No. I see your point. It just didn't seem like I just couldn't see a reasoning like how that
I mean, does there have
helped
to
the
be a reason?
story. Well,
The reason he was angry, she was on the thing. She was
I
like, okay,
suppose
my
I
commanding
like to
officer's a bit
have a
mad at me.
reason. I suppose in myself, I like having a reason for a story point.
I
And
mean, there is a reason. The reason is clear. The reason is what I just said. Like,
yeah,
you
it just
don't think that's enough.
no, I don't. I think we're missing. I don't know. There's something about that scene that just it doesn't make a lot of sense and just off puts me a little bit because
Yeah, I
there
don't know.
is there's no it doesn't help the story. It doesn't push the story in a direction.
I
It
mean, it
doesn't.
does. It's about the emotive, like his emotional state at that second, and it's about the communications between the ship. So we learn that the communications are shut down and the ambassadors are asking what's happening. So he's worrying about the ambassadors, and we learn that Kirk is stressed about that and worried about that, and that Uhura needs to manage the situation in a very particular way. Like it's the heightened electricity of what's happening on the bridge. And she's involved in that. She's not just sitting behind it. She's actually part
Oh,
of the
look,
action.
I get that. I just can't see an individual who's on the bridge, who is a
Mm,
lieutenant, and on
mm.
the bridge of the flagship
Yeah.
would make a simple mistake like that. And that is
Well, she
what it
didn't
was.
she didn't make a mistake. I think it was more just like he wanted her to follow particular rules.
Yeah, maybe,
What is
maybe.
the actual line? I think I've got the line pulled up here somewhere.
I do also like the factor that this is the first episode we actually see Andorians and Tellarites.
Hmm.
We hear about them, but we don't ever see them, which I actually um they kept the Tellarites they kept the Andorians and Tellarites pretty close throughout all of Star Trek, which I'm kind of happy compared to where they didn't keep the Gorn, which I'm really unhappy.
The Gorn.
Yeah, I'm that's the one part about Strange New Worlds I'm not overly happy with how they've depicted the Gorn.
Yeah, I don't. I hate that as well. That's a big.
That to me is they fixed the Klingon situation, which I'm glad, but I think
Yeah.
they've messed up the Gorn.
I think it
Uh,
also ruins an integral part of the whole episode when we first see the Gorn is about like showing kindness to people when you are forced into fighting by a great enemy. And at the end
yeah,
of the episode, the whole point is that Kirk says, "No, I will not kill this other person that is a person that has a whole life and captainship and, you know, humanity to him just because you told me that I should." Like,
I know.
and they both live.
I
And that
like
was
the arena.
great.
I like the arena episode, but I
Yeah.
think it's one part that with the Strange New Worlds is I think that I'm not really great with is how they've completely and utterly changed the Gorn's direction. They've now look, we've even in the arena we knew they were aggressive. We knew that,
Yeah.
but they've taken it from aggressive to horror.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It felt really like
I
off-putting.
yeah, I just
And they could
and
have, I think they could have done a horror-filled story like that, but they didn't have to do it with the Gorn. Like,
yeah, I just I'm not going to get into it in depth, but I have an issue with how they've made the Gorn reproduce. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, I
It
think
it
some parts
doesn't
of
make
Strange New World lose some Star
biologically
Trekness.
biologically it does not make a damn bit of sense.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Also,
can't.
I think I found the transcript for a
Oh,
horrors thing.
okay.
If we
No,
wanted to.
no. I mean, this is what we
We're
do.
talking about the bit where she's on the bridge. He literally just says to her, she's like, the directional locator indicates a reception point somewhere within the body of this ship. And then Spock and Kirk are talking about the fact that they can't find it. And then Kirk says, "Murder, someone's out there playing tag. Lieutenant, you've got your sensor locator on a wide beam. You've established a receiver on board this vessel. Tighten your field to the interior of this ship." And Uhura says, "Yes, sir. If that alien vessel starts transmitting again, I want to know who on board the Enterprise is receiving." But I think it's just the way that William Shatner
Yeah,
says it because
yeah.
he's so
I because
in that
when you
moment,
read it
but he's
back,
not actually he's not actually he's just telling her to do her job, but it's just in that moment it feels really aggressive because the whole
yeah.
energy on the bridge is really aggressive. But I just like that
I
they
think he
include
said it.
Uhura in this integral part of the plot of the story.
It doesn't show. I think it doesn't show Kirk in the Great Light because he's always been portrayed as this calm, cool, collected under pressure. And that
Yeah.
moment, it he lost it.
He's never calm, cool, and collected. That's his whole thing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Wayne?
Come on, it's Kirk.
It's Kirk. Yeah, he throws himself across the ship and yells at people on the bridge when he gets upset about stuff. He's never calm, cool, and collected. He's very emotional. That's
Or he
part of his
shoots
whole
first and then
character.
asks questions.
Exactly.
I mean, how many times did we have a gunslinging shootout with another ship? Yeah.
I know. He's smart, but he's not like Spock smart, you know?
Oh, I don't think anybody's Spock smart. Let's get realistic. I don't think anybody's Spock smart. I don't know,
No,
you
he's
know,
Spock. There is none other like him.
Kirk as a character, he's down to earth smart. He's
Yeah,
street
exactly.
smart. He can outthink and outplay somebody, and he will
Also, I
play
think
dirty if it has to.
he's like war smart. Like he knows the
Yeah,
strategies of how
yeah,
people interact with ships in space, which I
yeah.
don't think. Yeah,
He,
that's why
he
he's such a
he's
good
street,
captain,
and he's willing to play dirty if he has to in order to get a win out of the
which he
operation.
does in this episode.
And he plays dirty all the time. Well, we call it playing dirty. He calls it kind of strategically taking the advantage.
Yeah,
He changes the rules, and as he
but a
says,
Klingon wouldn't do that. It's not honorable.
God, Klingon would do it all the time. Um, but he changes the rules to suit himself,
Yeah,
and that's I think you find a lot about that perception in the Ruther Khan.
I was literally thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, it's like that when he changed
Yeah,
the parameters of the
yeah.
unwinnable test so that he could win it.
And he admits he doesn't believe in a no-win situation. He doesn't like to lose. And
Because he likes
that's
thinking around problems
yeah,
instead of through them.
he doesn't he throws a rule book or he closes a rule book in order to get where from point A to point B. And if getting
Yeah.
from point A to point B means that you have to go around to point F or whatever, then and if the orders tell you you're not allowed to, well, he throws the orders out the window.
Yeah,
And
what's that
that's what
episode
Kirk
where the guy
does.
takes control of the ship and Kirk's on a different ship and he
Oh,
goes to Spock and he's like, God damn it, Spock, blast the regulations. I could demand you take control of the ship.
that's
And
the
it's just such a
Doomsday. That's the
moment.
Doomsday one.
Yeah, Doomsday. Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
love that
the
episode.
Commodore. He's the Commodore's on the Enterprise, and Kirk's on the other ship on his ship, and
Mm.
yeah. And if you ever get a chance, have a look at they do a one of the next phase YouTube Star Trek episodes. They actually do one after that about the Commodore and the Doomsday, and they get the original
Cool.
actor who played the Commodore.
Oh, wow.
It is. Oh, damn it! I can't remember what it's called now. Um, I honestly can't. But it is actually. I watched it, and it's actually a really good episode because you see Doomsday weapons come back, and
Mm.
they bring back um they bring back the actual character. They actually got him to play the Commodore again, and it's actually a very good episode.
Yeah.
I just cannot remember what what it is. I'll have a look and put it up if I can find it. Or somebody, if
Yeah.
the one person who listens to
The
this,
single person listening to this, if you know what we're talking about.
if you know put it in the comments, can you? Because I physically cannot remember what it's called. I will find it, but it will just take time to find it.
Yeah.
And you know, we don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to do it right at the
You know
moment.
what to do. Too much effort right now.
I think look like all TOS episodes, it's got pitfalls and it's got issues, but
Mm.
those issues weren't an issue back then. I don't think I can put today's perception of how Star Trek should look back on 1960, 69 or 70 episodes. It doesn't work because it
Mm.
physically you can't do it. If you take away all of that and you just take the episode for what it is, yeah, it's a good episode. I have to admit,
Yeah.
it's a really good episode.
I think it's enjoyable to watch and I think it aged pretty well. There's nothing in this episode that makes me really, want to stop watching it or get so uncomfortable that I have to stop watching it, like some TOS episodes. It feels like it's just sort of I can watch the whole episode without getting the ick.
Yeah, look, there are some Star Trek TSO um, TOS. I'll get it right in a minute too. There is some TOS episodes that even I jump over.
Mm.
You think, I can't do this again. I cannot
Yep.
watch this.
Yep.
Um, not because not because I don't like it's just the story plot for me and the writing is just not worth it. It's just it wasn't up to scratch for me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because Star Trek is a very storytelling or story driven, I think, um, TV show. And if it's
Yeah.
not driven by that story or the
It's
characters,
boring
it kind of is a little bit, I hate to say it. Yes.
because it's so slow and you're like, oh, the plot is terrible and the acting is terrible and you're just slogging through the episode.
Yeah. I think that is true. But if you've got the interaction with characters, whether
Like
they're
this
the
episode
main character
has.
or whatever, or you've got
Yeah.
a really good story plot and the really good writing that goes along with it,
Or
everything else
both.
doesn't really matter. It's just kind of colored.
Yeah.
It's a colored palette at the back to tell the story. But
Or
when they
sometimes it
try,
adds a bit.
it
Like,
does. But when they try and do
yeah,
it the other way around, where they put the colored palette at the front and the story at the back,
I
that's
know.
where you think, oh yeah, really?
Oh, I don't want to watch this.
And there are a couple.
That's when you go and watch Deep Space Nine and feel joy in your heart
Look,
again.
there's a couple in all of the TV series, all of the franchises that I think, no, I can't watch that. It's I just can't get through it again. And I'll
Yeah.
jump over them. But I think in TOS there's probably a few more.
I think
Um,
TOS has the most. I have a list of like the TOS episodes that I will go and watch again because like it's easier for me to have a list of ones to watch than ones not to watch.
Funny thing is, there was one point, I don't know if you saw it, when McCoy, I
Hmm.
wanted to bring this up because it was so funny. It was, I don't
Oh
know if it
no.
was meant to be there or what, but when McCoy is doing surgery on Sarek
Hmm.
and all of that, when they've got that bio bed thing, the dome over Sarek, there's
Yeah.
smoke coming off the bio bed.
I was the didn't
Yeah,
even notice.
there's smoke coming off it. Now, I kind of tried to make myself, or maybe it's McCoy. Um, I was going to say soldering, um, soldering Sarek
Sorry.
back together. Maybe he's burning bits. But then I'm thinking, yeah, but that wouldn't make any sense because we're in the 23rd century. It would be genetically or metabolically
I
growing.
know.
But every now and then you see this little smoke coming off the top of the
He's just
bio bed.
roasting Sarek, actually. He's just you put him there for a good long roast.
I don't know what that. I'm just watching it and I've gone back. Yep, there's smoke there.
That's
Um,
really funny.
it comes up twice, and I'm thinking, what the? Where's that coming?
Ah,
What are
this
they
is like
doing?
this is like my favorite bit from the medical room in this episode is Kirk's hilarious glittery bandage over his chin.
Oh, the bandage, it really wasn't doing anything. It was just
So
kind
I
of
was
sitting there.
like, you didn't see any injury from him in the previous episode, and then we cut to him in the med bay, and he's got the glitteriest, sparkliest bandage you've ever seen in your entire life, wrapped perfectly round his pecs, and it's so funny.
And realistically, why you've got an injury.
Why? It makes
Got an
no sense.
injury down on the bottom right hand side. So it's down near your waist area or below your waist, all right? Why have you got to have a bandage that goes from the bottom
I
right all the
know.
way up over your shoulder, down the other side and wrap around you? You would just put a
Yeah,
patch
I
on that
know. It's
area.
so stupid.
And
Yeah,
where he had the sash, I'm gonna call it the sash.
it
Where he
looks
had
like
the
a
sash
sash.
wasn't even where the injury was.
I know.
I don't know where the injury had gone, but you
Just
know,
makes me laugh
boy's a
every
great
time.
he's a great surgeon. He repairs one injury and creates another.
It creates about 26 more all over his upper body.
Don't know what the hell that was going on with that because it didn't make a damn bit of sense because you wouldn't put that around you because it why
I
would you
know.
do that?
This is why TOS is so much fun. Like, it's all so stupid. You just have to laugh.
I just could not get my head wrapped around that one.
Yep.
It didn't make any sense.
Yep.
I'm looking and I'm going, but hang on. I went back to the actual fight, and no, he got him in the bottom right hand down below the waist area, probably down where your kidneys or something are. I could be wrong with that. I'm no doctor. I'm a bricklayer. But when you actually look at where the bandage was, I'm going, well, hang on, that's like 10 foot away from where the wound is.
Yep.
And why would you put a sash on? Look,
I know.
I've won the wound award for 2342.
I'm the
Hey,
greatest wound haver, a captain on this ship. I have this
I know,
beautiful
I
sparkly
mean,
sash to prove it.
really, come on, guys.
Great. I
I think
really
they
like. I
I
feel like
think
as a cosplay, that'd be really funny. Like if someone did that at a con, they were just walking around with a sparkly sash over their chest. I think that'd be great.
oh, I just didn't get that one. Really? I didn't get it.
It's good.
I that
It's like
part.
the. This whole episode is so much fun in the costuming department. I love Amanda's costumes. I love that we get to see the like fancy costumes for all the Starfleet officers, and they don't have the
Yeah.
Starfleet insignia.
What?
They have that other one that no, everyone forgets about and they never used again. What
Yeah.
is it? Which I think
Yeah.
is funny.
I didn't mind. I did like when Sarek got out of the shuttle, and he's got this fancy Vulcan, but
Yeah.
he's got a pair of just nice
Normal pants on.
business 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 shoes on, which I thought was quite good. Or the honor guard. I did like the red
The
shirt.
honor guard. The honor guard felt so hornblower. That was another moment where I was going like, oh yeah, this is like an old naval ship right here.
Yeah, and the way I had to look twice because I couldn't figure out what they were doing with their hands when I thought, what are you doing? You're doing the Galaxy Quest salute. Then I
Salute.
realized they were holding their phasers up there, and I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah.
that
Because
looks
it's an honor
right.
guard. They gotta hold their guns up, even though this is a non-militaristic.
I know you wouldn't pull your guns, you wouldn't pull the phaser out. You would
I
stand at
know.
attention. I could accept that. I could
Yeah.
also accept. In fact, I don't even know why they were wearing weapons anyway.
I know. Although I do like the weapon belts in this episode. They
I
aren't the weird
know.
brown ones. They're the
I
like
know.
round. Yeah,
These
they looked really good. They were nice
they
weapon belts.
they're the red shirts cummerbund.
Yeah, it looks way better than that weird
I
leather
do
thing they
like
had in the earlier.
I do like that. I actually I stopped it and kind of went Googling and to find out, and I got a picture, and it
Uh,
looks really, I mean, this is because I'm thinking, have they got their shirts tucked into their pants or something?
that's what
Because
I was thinking too. And then I looked at it closer. It was like, no, it's like a belt cummerbund thing.
I know it looks good though. I've got to give it. It gives that sort of I don't know, that prestige to the red shirts. When they
Yeah,
get
it looks really good.
shot, it's going to make them look good,
Yeah, they
all
can lie
blown up.
nicely dead on the ground.
Yeah, you'll have the boots and you might have the cummerbund left, but
Yeah,
nothing
that's it.
else.
Nothing else.
So they'll when they die, when they go back to the ship to honor them, they'll have this rack of emptied cummerbunds
Empty
along,
cummerbunds.
you know, along the
Oh,
thing.
talking of costuming though,
Oh
this is
God.
one of the green shirts episodes. The best green shirt ever. My favorite costuming piece in all of TOS is Captain Kirk's green wrap shirt. And it just I need to make another cosplay of this one because I
Yeah,
did
but
one of
haven't you
Pike's
hang
green
on, wait
shirt.
a
I
minute.
did
Whoa,
Pike's
whoa,
green
whoa,
shirt.
whoa, you've got
What?
one
What?
already.
That's Pike's one. That's from Strange New Worlds. He wears a
Oh,
green shirt,
did
but
you what
his
did
green shirt has shoulder seams, like very
and it's a
specific.
bit it's a
It's got normal shoulders and
yeah,
it's got
yeah.
shoulder pads in it, and it's not got the weird Star Trek shoulders. I want to make a Kirk one, a proper Kirk one that's like made out of like jersey knit in that weird lime green with the proper shoulder seams and just wear it to every con ever because it makes me so happy. It's so sparkly too,
Oh,
like for no
yeah, I
reason.
know. I was
It's
going to
so
say
sparkly.
it's. I could just see him going to the local disco and getting under the disco ball
I
or
know.
something.
He wouldn't have to change. He's already
No,
wearing
in
the
fact,
shiny
all they'd have to
costume.
do is put the chain on him and raise him up to the top, and he'd be
And
he'd be the
he's the disco ball now, guys.
he's the, or either that, yeah, he'd be the disco ball. He'd be the disco ball. Simple as that.
Yep,
Um,
done.
okay, so I think we've killed this episode enough. Um,
It's a good episode.
yeah. What do you? Okay, what would you? say, is the episode good or is it
This is like a solid 9 out of 10 Star Trek episode for me. I would make everybody watch this as like a precursor to any other Star Treks. I think it's good. I enjoy it.
So we're going to give this what 9 out of 10 tribbles.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 triple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you, we, we know you've got a lot of issues with it. But
I don't have as many issues as I might normally have, though.
I, look, you've got to, everybody's, and that one person who's listening to this, understand this. Annabelle does have an opinion, a
I
very
do.
strong opinion.
I always
Uh,
do.
and when they say that they don't have as many problems with it, they are actually being honest.
I'm being honest.
Yep, I'm not kidding. I have to stand in awe of Annabelle at the moment. Normally there would be a
Ranking a
toilet
Star Trek
paper.
episode high? This is incredible. Oh my gosh.
There would normally be a toilet roll of complaints against an episode, and we
Yep.
haven't had to go into the
Well,
toilet roll yet.
we saw that last time. We're being positive this time because I picked this episode. So,
Okay, so would you say for anyone to watch this?
yes, recommend 100%.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I'm going to give it 9, only because I still want to know what the smoke was going on with the.
We still want to know how roasted Sarek was when he got
Yeah,
out of that.
I want to know how roasted Sarek was. No, look, I'm being a bit harsh. I'm going to openly admit this. I'm being a little bit harsh, but there are a few things in it that don't make a lot of sense to me. But as an
It's
overall episode,
TOS way.
I know as an overall episode, this is a really good one. I would recommend if you want to watch a good episode, then get into this one. It's got it's actually one of those episodes that I think has got humor in it before the end of the show, which is I think a
Yeah.
good thing, which is becomes a like a very staple of Star Trek is having humor in it. So I think it's a good episode for that.
It's funny. Yeah.
It's a good episode because you start to see not just humans anymore. You start to see
Yeah.
other races, which I think is a really important thing.
And Vulcans, lots of Vulcan
You
lore in this
do, and
episode.
I think it's a good thing because now you can start to realize that the Federation is not just humanoid. It's not just
No.
human. It's a lot more. I like the costumes in this because you get to see a
I
lot of
love the
different.
costuming.
I do.
Costuming
I've
is
got to
really
admit,
good.
I love the costumes in this. You get to see a lot more costumes and a lot of different costumes. A lot of you get to see the
Alien costumes.
variety that comes later in Star Trek. I
Yeah,
think
like in
this is
Next
a
Gen, you see it a lot
yeah.
more, but this episode's sort of the start of that.
I think you also see like in the movies you see a lot of different costumes appearing, but
Yeah, that's true.
for the TOS series, this is one of the first times you actually see all of these kind of different costumes, and I think it's a prelude to what's
And you
coming.
get to see them all together, which is fun.
Yeah, and they're all going to fight, which I don't understand because they're in the Federation. But that's here nor there. Oh, look, I would go along with Annabelle and say I'd have to say for Annabelle this was a good pick. I have to admit, to be
Yeah,
truthful.
see? I have good taste.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm not going to admit that they've got good taste because I'll never hear the end of it. It's and this happens at every meeting we do. It's just yeah, it
Me
it's
goading
just
you. Yep.
no, it just yeah, it's just a no-win situation. It's the Kobayashi Maru gone wrong. Um, so yeah, look, we do these for fun. We have fun getting together and just talking about Star Trek. We don't script them because we don't script our meetings, so we do this to show people we have a lot of fun. We do love Star Trek, but we don't take it absolutely seriously.
Yep.
Annabelle wants to say something.
No, I don't. That's fine. No, you're being very truthful.
No, I mean it's just we like to have fun. This is just showing you how much fun being part of our club. Yeah, now the ad comes in.
Now
And
the ad comes in. You should join our club, guys. It's really fun, I swear.
yeah, look, I will put the contact details of how, if you want any information about the club, and you can jump on board one of these podcasts with us, and we can have a triangle of aggression.
We can have a triumvirate of aggression.
Yeah, and look, I would be incredibly over the moon if we had a lot more people, because I think more voices yelling over one another is a better thing.
Yep.
It always makes for good.
We
I was
all
going to
have
say,
different opinions. It's fun.
oh,
Don't laugh. It is fun.
oh God, see, I can't even win. Look, I will leave the contact details. If you want any information about the club, by all means, please contact us. More than happy to send you some information about what we do, what we don't do, and what we get up to. But mainly, we just have fun. We love Star Trek. And look, in all honesty, if you want to join the club, you don't. We talk about other science fictions and fantasies, so don't get
Yeah, it's
worried if
like it's all the stars, all the bad sci-fis.
yeah. So don't
We're
get
fans of many things.
overly concerned. If you've basically only watched a
If
couple
you've
of
only
episodes.
watched one Star Trek, that's fine.
Yes, we'll sit you down at a meeting and basically make you force watch
We'll write you a list
all.
of every single Star Trek you have to watch.
Or what are we up to? About 1,000 episodes now. It shouldn't take you more than about
Yeah, I
three
think so.
lifetimes.
You'll
But
be fine. Just constantly watch it for like a week. You
yeah,
don't get any breaks.
oh, more than a week. Oh, with no. Okay, forgot.
With
Don't
no
blame me.
breaks.
Yeah,
24/7, 7 days a week.
boy. Luckily, you're not captain.
No.
Yeah. All right. Look, I hope if anyone listens to this right to the end, they had fun. They got something out of it. I don't know what
They
they
should
got
go
out of
watch
it.
this Star Trek episode.
Go and watch the Star Trek episode and leave a comment afterwards. But please be nice about it, because we don't take we really don't take aggressive comments
Wayne's
very
not
well.
good with criticism.
I can be no constructive criticism I'm okay with, but I don't like criticism. Just blatant criticism. I can't take that. I can't take it
Okay.
anymore.
How did you
Um,
become captain?
no, I got shanghaied into it. I got shanghaied. All right, we will pull this up. We will do another one in a couple of weeks, thereabouts. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll
You get to
we'll
pick this episode.
we get to torture another episode,
Yep.
and we get to torture each other, and hopefully, maybe I can get somebody else aboard, and we can torture others
Hey,
too. All right.
wonderful.
I hope everyone has a good whatever they're going to do. Live long and prosper.
Prosper. Diphthongusma.
Okay, we'll see.
That's how you say it in Vulcan.
Annabelle
And you
always has
call
to
yourself a Star Trek fan.
Annabelle always has to get one up on everybody, and they've done it again. All right, everybody, take care, and watch as
Bye.
much Star Trek as you can.
Please.